It's hard to put my finger on the exact moment I wanted to be a researcher. My dad brought home this magazine, Scientific American. The title on the page was Genetic Engineering, and it was really about manipulating DNA in organisms. I read that article. I was mesmerized by that technology of overexpressing genes in cells and seeing what would happen. And so that's exactly what I wanted to do. I think that is the moment where I knew I wanted to be a scientist.
I grew up in St. Louis. My parents still live here. My brother still lives here. When I was, I think 5 or 6, I remember my mom loves to tell this story where we went to the emergency room. I needed stitches on my chin. And at the very end, the doctor looked at me and said, "What are you going to be when you grow up?" And I said, "A doctor." I want to have close connections with the patients. I saw the close connections that my family members had with their cancer doctors. And I want to explore cancer biology and figure out how we can make treatments better, how we can make our patients' lives better. And the more and more I saw patients, the more questions I realized they had that we didn't have answers to. And I wanted to be a part of that process. I wanted to be a part of answering those questions.
One of the first things that propelled me was when I had both of my daughters, and I wanted to impact their lives in a way that they could look back and go, wow, Dad not being around all the time really benefited not only us, but other women who might get this terrible disease. The breast cancer research program here at WashU is quite unique. I think our ability to bring bench to the bedside research into the clinic allows us to be at the cutting edge nationwide. And so patients that come here to Siteman for breast cancer treatment are really going to get not only the gold standard, but also the latest and greatest clinical trials, and where we're trying to move what we're identifying and finding in the laboratory rapidly into the clinic to make more progress in treating and curing breast cancer.
The ultimate goal of the breast cancer research program is really to make our patients' lives better. We want to make this journey easier for them, whether that is reducing the number of treatments they need to get, whether that is reducing their side effects. We really want to make sure that we're giving them the best quality of life possible.
My job is to identify new targets, new therapies that will give patients who maybe yesterday didn't have any hope, it will give them hope to make it yet another day.
The ultimate goal of my research is really to look at the role of lifestyle in our patients, see what they can do outside of the clinic in terms of improving their lifestyle choices to get through this journey much easier.
At the end of the day, the basic answers could help other scientists. They could help patients because we can translate those findings into the clinic because we have such a great connection between our basic scientists like myself and the clinicians, the oncologists, the surgeons, the radiologists who are treating patients on a daily basis. All of that together, I think, is for the ultimate benefit of the patient.
The decision to go into research for some people is very easy. Oftentimes it's a lot of work and a lot of revamping and realizing we have to figure out what's working, what's not working. But I love to be able to switch gears and do something a little bit different that can answer some of these questions and hopefully be able to bring that back into the clinic for our patients.
It's really hard to separate yourself from the life of being a scientist because it's hard to get out of my own head sometimes. When I lock in on ideas in the lab and begin to think about how I can successfully move that clinically, who am I going to be helping? How would we run that trial? It's very hard to let that go from time to time.
Medicine has really moved towards personalized medicine. We want to treat you based on the type of cancer you have. We want to give personalized recommendations based on you and your tumor type in terms of what you can be doing outside of the clinic with healthy lifestyle choices to give you the best prognosis possible.
When we hear from survivors of cancer, families of people with cancer, that is definitely a motivating factor.
To be able to care for patients at Siteman and to be able to work with the unbelievable expertise that we have here is really phenomenal for a doctor and especially for a cancer researcher.
We are able to extend their lives and have an impact on their lives. And so really, to me, it's about giving back to the community in a way that eventually is going to become very, very tangible.